Hello, this is Manesh Patel from ichimokutrade.com. Today is October 26, 2014. This is our bi-weekly Ichimoku analysis for all the global markets, where we cover everything from Europe to Middle East to Asia to North and South America. Let's begin because it's been an exciting last couple of weeks. We just came back from our Asia tour, so it's pretty interesting to see all this stuff going on while I was in Asia and also in Sydney in South Asia. Anyways, there's a normal disclaimer to state this is for educational use only. We're not soliciting you to buy or sell any particular instrument. If you do so, you're doing that at your own risk. Here's our information here, where you could email us here at info@eiicapital.com, or you could go to our website, ichimokutrade.com, access any of our free videos, multiple time frame email alerts, access our Twitter feed, Facebook, and so forth. Also, you guys could see, call us at any of our office locations here. Definitely would sit there and access our Twitter feed. If you guys noticed it, we did sit there and call the bottom within 1 point of the E-mini. And we picked, had also the timing element on the Twitter feed too, where we basically said it was going to be the Thursday and Friday of option expiry of October. So that pretty much was where we were calling a bottom. And then in Twitter, we basically put within 1 point of where the E-mini was going to, S&P 500 was going to bottom out. So check that out when you guys get a chance. Okay, let's go straight to E-signal. Remember, on the left-hand side is basically the daily time frame. On the right-hand side is the weekly time frame. We're mainly looking at the weekly. Reason why is we're looking for long-term basis and going from there. If you look at Ireland here, finally did a major pullback, kind of held this support here. Went bleep below here, but in theory kind of still stuck around here and stayed around the 6,000 level. So this is still very, very strong right now. This is a major pullback unless it sits there and breaks this level to start going down lower. This right now has a high probability of getting back to about 62.43, and at that point it's going to be a true test for this thing, because if it can't break that resistance at 62.43, then this is going to consolidate, or it's going to basically reverse harsh. If it could break it, then it's going to retest this high, has a high probability of retesting this high, which is around 6,800, and that possibly can take place over about a year to 2 years. UK market, the FTSE market, if you look at the FTSE market, a little more ugly than the Ireland market that we just saw, and you could see from the little spike down here, and you could kind of zoom out and you could see that it didn't quite get down to this spike right here, which basically was back in June of 2013. But however, it basically sat there and still maintained our support that we had outlined at 62.39. So this is still very, very strong. This is the bottom of the consolidation pattern. Now it looks like it's got a high probability of getting back to the top until it decides it wants to break out of this consolidation pattern. Believe it or not, in about 3 or 4 weeks, the momentum will be towards the bearish side if this thing doesn't sit there and start making a move up and starts breaking this resistance of 64.49. So it's very, very key that within a month and a half, that we break this resistance of 64.49. If not, this is going to basically start moving more towards the bearish side a lot more. German market. You can see the German market here spike a little below the support we had outlined at 86.04, kind of held that support, and now it's trying to get back to this resistance here, which is roughly, let's see, shrink this chart a little, at 91.93 is that resistance level. If it breaks that, then it's going to come all the way back up to 94.83. The difference right now, it's got to break this resistance level in order for it to continue the trend to go up to about 10,000 or so forth. If it holds that resistance level and breaks the support at 86.04 and closes below that on a weekly basis, then the DAX basically has a potential of reversing this bullish trend and start basically tanking and going down further. We believe it's going to at least get up to about here, and then at that point it's going to be a true test to see exactly what happens, and how fast it gets here will tell us a lot too. Paris market, look at the Paris market, same thing like the German market, kind of spiked below here but held a support at 40.44. It's got a high probability now getting to 41.92. After that, we really don't know what's going to happen there. If it breaks the 41.92, definitely we'll go to 43.46 and then keep on going higher. If it holds the 41.92, then we're going to make a move back to the support of 40.44, and then at that point we could either reverse or it could sit there and enter a consolidation pattern. Switzerland, if you look at the Switzerland market here, it actually held a major support here at 82.39, so it's looking good there. Came all the way down here. If you look at the chart, spiked all the way, but it held the 82.39, and now it's trying to sit there and make a move to 85.50. The way this is going right now, this major pullback that occurred, it did not take a lot of the bullish strength out of it, so it's got a high probability of getting to 87.50 and possibly breaking that. So this one is definitely one to keep a lookout, where it possibly can get there to 9,000 before the end of the year or later into next year, especially into probably February or so forth. Iceland, that's the one we were talking about. Keep an eye on and breaking out. It did that last week, and you could see that here. It was holding our support at 831, and we were talking about this, and basically, because when we last did the last video, it was at 837. We said, watch out, this has a high probability of breaking out. This finally broke this 399 level and got unclosed at 411, so basically broke the 400 level. So this now could sit there and keep on trending, and has got a lot of momentum to do so too. So keep an eye on Iceland to start a new trend now. Well, that's a continuation trend. The Baltic, you could see here, this was in a trend, did a major pullback in here. A major pullback turned into a trend reversal. We're now basically in a trend reversal to the downside. And the reason why is we broke the support at 574. So keep an eye on this one now to start making a move down. Next support level is going to be roughly around about 550, between, I would say, 545 or so forth. Denmark, which was strong going forward, you could see finally went for a pullback. Did a major pullback. The major pullback was still weak. It's not that much, it wasn't that strong. So this does have a high probability of getting to that pivot high up here and keep on breaking that to keep on going higher. So keep a lookout for this one. And the whole reason why is it basically held a support at 685, which was a strong support. Didn't come into the cloud at all, so it didn't weaken at all. So this has a high probability of now getting to 749 and breaking that to keep on going higher. So definitely keep an eye on Denmark. Finland. If you look at Finland here, this did a major pullback after a consolidation at the top here. It's holding a resistance level of 75.09. It's got to break this resistance level to keep this trend keep on going up and higher. However, right now it doesn't look like it's trying to break it at all. We'll have to wait and see in the next couple of weeks. The timing elements show that there's going to be a bullish push in about 2 weeks, but we have to wait and see exactly where it's going to be and see if it does follow that timing element or not. But the way this is consolidating right now, this does not look good at all. And its key is right now, as the faster it breaks the 75.09 level, the faster this thing's going to sit there and retest that high and keep on going higher. Norway. Let's look at Norway now. If you look at Norway, went for its first major pullback, but finally broke the support at 645, got to the cloud, bounced off there. Now it's heading back to the 645. It's going to be interesting to see what happens when it gets to the 645 resistance level and see if it could break it. If it could break it, this trend's going to continue to keep on going higher. If it holds it, then it's going to pretty much come down and go into this cloud where it's going to take a lot of bullish momentum out and it's going to consolidate. Right now, the probabilities do look like it's high on breaking a 645, so this is one that we're definitely going to keep an eye on, look at as basically upside potential to the end of the year. Belgium here is just like Norway, it's strong. It looks like it's trying to get back to 31.29, which is this next resistance level. And if it does get there, then it looks like it's a high probability it could break it to keep on going higher. So Belgium and Norway are pretty much very similar shapes. Sweden. If you can notice, in Sweden, it's actually got to its resistance level, whereas Belgium and Norway haven't. So this is at 1368, which is its major resistance level. It's just got to break it now, and if it does, it could retest this high. However, this looks like it's going to consolidate for a while. So breaking the high, there's low probabilities towards that, but getting to these resistance levels up here, bouncing off there, and continuing on this consolidation pattern is pretty much where the probabilities lie for the Sweden market. Netherlands, here you could see here pulled back all the way back down here to 369, major pullback. It's getting to a resistance level at 400, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens at the 400 level. You could see a lot of these countries up here are pretty much what did a major pullback, and they're now at a critical level where it's do or die for them to pretty much to continue on in their bullish trend, or to basically enter a consolidation, or to basically break down. So that major resistance levels, that's going to determine exactly what's going to happen. Spain here, same scenario, bullish trend here, pulled back to 50.90, held that, and now basically at a major resistance here at 54.04. What happens here is going to be critical here for Spain moving forward. So we're going to wait and watch to see exactly what happens here. Greece, you could see here, had an ugly bullish trend, major pullback to 1570. That was the critical line right there, the support it had to hold for the major pullback. Basically broke it, so now this thing's basically entering a trend reversal to the downside. This does, believe it or not, have a potential getting down to about 1200 or 1000, so keep an eye on Greece basically tanking even more. In order to do that, it probably may pull back to about 1498, which is this minor resistance level. Major is going to be 1570. If this is going to be extremely strong to sit there and tank all the way down to 1000, the 1498 levels got to hold for this thing to sit there and tank. Portugal. If you look at Portugal here, it's at a major support level. This is not a pullback, but an ugly consolidation pattern, believe it or not, because this thing came up here, launched from here, came all the way up here, came all the way back to the baseline at 10,186. It's holding right now, so this looks like it's going to possibly break up and sit there and probably pull up right now. And at that point, it's going to probably sit there and consolidate. If it doesn't, if it breaks this level at 10,186, watch out, because this thing's going to crash very harsh and very fast too. So keep an eye on that one for sure. And that was Portugal. Let's go to Italy. Look at Italy here. This is strong. If you look at it, basically bullish trend, came back, pulled back, held the level at 18,544, and looks like it's trying to get back to the 20,000 level here. Or 19,947 to be exact. That's going to be the major resistance level to determine if this is going to basically, this was a pullback or a trend reversal or so forth. If it breaks that resistance level, then this has a high probability of retesting the high. If it holds it, it's going to come back to the support and possibly break it to continue to go down. So it's kind of do or die for the instrument now for basically Italy. Austria, if you look at Austria, really nothing going on except it consolidating, hit a major support at 2050, which is kind of the beginning of this whole bullish trend here. So it's back at its baseline here at 2050. So that's kind of just entering a big consolidation pattern. If it breaks that, then this thing could actually go all the way back down to retesting lows and right around 1900. If it holds here, then basically it'll make a higher low, and at that point enter a consolidation pattern to continue to move forward. Czechoslovakia is the next one. This looks like one ugly chart, and you could see the supports here, so we're not really going to entertain this at all. Hungary. If you look at Hungary, not really doing much of anything except consolidating. You could see the support resistance levels there. Poland doing the same thing, consolidating between 2320 and 2519. Romania. This is the interesting one here. This is very strong going up, and I'm not sure if anyone's noticed this. This has not even gone for a major pullback at all. This has sat there, taken off, had a little minor pullback at the beginning of the year from the big trend going up last year, and continued to go up. It got to a resistance level of 72.51 and basically bounced off the support right here at basically, what's that exact value? 68.12, and bounced off that, and that looks like it's trying to sit there and go up to 72.51. This still has a lot of momentum, believe it or not. All the worldwide pullbacks last week got major affected to a point they went for a major pullback. This is one of the few that did not go for a major pullback and is still very strong. So definitely keep an eye on Romania moving forward. Slovakia. This is another one. This is strong. This, believe it or not, has a high probability here getting to 225 and breaking that to keep on going higher. So keep an eye on that one. Russia. You can see Russia's really not doing anything here. It's an ugly consolidation pattern. We're back here down to support at 29.63. Resistance, minor resistance is going to be 30.88. The more this basically consolidates, the more this is starting to look more and more bearish. So definitely keep an eye on this one as we move forward. But it does not seem to want to tank at all. So we're just going to have to wait impatiently to see exactly what it does. South Africa here got to a major pullback, holding at 88.30. This now has a high probability of getting back up here to about 99. Let's just say 99.05. This level here, I think it's hard to see with some of the writings. 9900 level there, so it's got a high probability of getting back there, and then depending on how fast it gets there, it could possibly break it to retest the high at 11,198. But it just depends on how fast the pullback where it starts to resume the trend. Turkey, really nothing going on here, just one ugly consolidation pattern. Right now the consolidation pattern looks like 40.86, and basically the top is going to be 46.69. Israel, remember this one was on the verge of breaking out. Nice bullish trend. This one is, believe it or not, is breaking out. You could see all the other world markets pulled back drastically. And look at this one. This is even stronger than Romania. This actually is broken resistance and keep on sitting there treading slowly going upwards. But no one is noticing this market at all. So this is kind of like the hidden secret right now is the Israel market. Next is Saudi Arabia. Remember, this was a gem where this kept on going up, 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 up. Look at this pullback. Major pullback here. Came all the way down to this level here where it had basically did a minor pullback before, held it right around 9,500, and basically come all the way back to a major resistance level. This major resistance level is going to determine exactly what's going to happen with this guy now. If it breaks this, it's going to retest the high and keep on going higher. If it holds this, this is going to enter a major pullback where it possibly going to come all the way down to about 9,000 level. So we have to wait and see exactly what's going to happen here. Dubai, major bullish trend here, did a minor pullback. It's actually consolidating here at the top. Major pullback to about 43.28. So the consolidation between 43.28 and 5,000 is the consolidation pattern now. But this is still bullish, so it could pretty much break out anytime. So I definitely keep an eye on the Dubai market. Abu Dhabi, same scenario. It's ranging basically between 51.73 and 47.51. So really not doing anything except ranging between the two, but it's still very bullish. So definitely keep an eye on the bullish side. You're breaking that consolidation pattern. Bahrain, it's consolidating, but it's still very, very strong. It hasn't even gotten to the cloud at all. And you could see basically it's consolidating between 1430 and 1476. Kuwait, if you look at Kuwait, basically this is doing nothing right now, just consolidating between 1142 and 1208. It's still very bullish, so it could break out to the bullish side more than the bearish. Oman had a nice little upward movement, finally did a major pullback. Is trying to see the pullback level we have marked as 67.89. Hasn't quite got there yet, but it hasn't gone back above this resistance at all right now. So kind of wait and see exactly what's going to happen now after this big red bar here. So waiting for the charts to tell us exactly what it wants to do. Qatar, if you look at here, this is still strong. You could see this has not gone for a major pullback at all. It held the support level 12.865, held that support level. It's now at a major resistance at 13.625. If it breaks the resistance, it's going to retest the high and keep on going. If it holds this resistance and comes back to that support, this instrument's finally going to go for a major pullback. So definitely keep an eye on this in the next couple of weeks. Okay, let's go over to Asia and let's go discuss exactly what's going on out there. It's interesting because they just came back from there. If you look at China, it looks like a bullish trend here, but if you shrink it out, you could see that it's not a bullish trend. It was actually a nice bearish trend here, and now we're consolidating at the bottom. So this upward movement is a fraction of the huge move that it went down. So definitely keep an eye on this one here. You could see a major support right now. It's at is 2401. If If it holds that support, then this thing's going to definitely come up to 25.55 or 25.90. So definitely keep an eye on that right now. The pullback last week was minor. Still is very, very strong going forward. Hong Kong market, this one decided was nice bullish trending here. It decided it had to hold here, this 23,512 level, for it to continue to keep on going up. It did not do that at all. So this is now entering a nasty consolidation pattern with high volatility. It is an upward consolidation pattern, but it's very, very ugly and volatile to a point you don't want to trade it. Before, we were going long on Hong Kong and China and short on China, but that reversed a couple of months ago. So we kind of pulled that trade out from pairs trading. Korea here was nicely consolidating. Now it's basically changed sentiments to the bearish side. A little pullback upwards to about 251. If it holds there, then this thing's going to have a potential of tanking and getting to this bottom right here of the big consolidation pattern. So this is basically one big ugly consolidation pattern that the Korea markets basically is in. Japan. You can see Japan here. Excuse me, this is a nice bullish trend here. Still has not gone for a major pullback, believe it or not, right now. Major resistance is 14,789. Major support is going to be about 13,383. It almost got there, but it hasn't quite got there yet. So we're waiting to see exactly what happens there. It's got to break this resistance level of 14,789 to keep its trend to the upside. Malaysia market, nice. It had a nice bullish trend. Finally went for its first major pullback at 1770. Support really held. It's at a major resistance level now. This is very, very critical for this thing to break this level here, which we've marked off as 1824. If it could break it, this thing's going to sit there and retest the high. If it can't break it, it's going to come back to the support, and if it's going to basically consolidate until it could sit there and break out. So definitely keep an eye on that, because the Malaysian market's on the edge to determine exactly what's going to go on. Singapore market, believe it or not, it's ugly, but it's a major pullback. They held a support of 15.55.10. Timing elements show that this thing's going to keep on going up to the end of the year. Major resistance level is going to be about 58.89. If it breaks that, then it'll transverse across to all these resistance levels going up. So we're definitely looking at this instrument here to basically look for this to go up. Minor support is going to be 56.77. If it holds up minor support, then we're going to look at basically Singapore market going up and going up for a little while from this point on. Thailand market had a bullish trend, did a major pullback here, now coming up here. This does not look good here. This is showing signs where some people call this a double top, some people don't because it's a little lower. But either way, this is a major resistance level of 1569. It's got to break to continue to keep on going higher. If it doesn't and breaks the support at 1486, watch out, because this thing could actually sit there and trend a reversal trend on you to the hard side. So if it breaks the support, this thing does have a high probability of getting to about 1200 and possibly breaking that too to get around to 1000. So be careful on the Thailand market going bullish because it's coming on the edge right now. Indonesia, if you look at Indonesia, excuse me, same scenario here too now. It's got to break this resistance level of 51.46. If it doesn't, this thing's going to sit there. If it breaks the support level, it's going to sit there and tank, retest the bottom here, down here, and at that point, it could sit there and keep on going lower too. So definitely keep an eye on things as we move forward. Okay. I don't even know how this video came up. Okay. Indonesia. Oh, sorry, that was Indonesia. Philippines. Philippines here, you could see a nice bullish trend here, did a pullback in here, Now it's trying to retest the high. It's at a critical support level at 41.53. If it does not hold this thing's going to sit there, retest the low, and possibly can reverse. If it holds here, then it's going to retest the high at that point. It's got a high probability of retesting the high. Notice a lot of these southeast countries are pretty much at a critical junction where they have not retested the high but fell a little short, and then now at a critical support level, which could kind of flip the market around completely from being bullish. Vietnam, this is an ugly chart a couple of weeks ago. Still one ugly chart here. It's holding the 15,000 level. So that's pretty much the bottom of the consolidation pattern. If it breaks that, then it'll get to the bottom of this big consolidation pattern, which is roughly around 12,000. Australia. If we look at the Australia market, excuse me, this nice bullish trend here, held a major support at 50.90, broke the resistance level over here at 54.04. So that was a really good sign last week, how it kind of closed above it. Now this thing does have a high probability of retesting the high. So, but however, it still needs a pullback. We're kind of expecting a pullback to about 52.91. Once it gets to pull back to that level, we want that level to hold. If it holds, then this will definitely be a high probability to retest the high probably before the end of this year or going a little into Q1 of next year. New Zealand finally broke out here. My main worldwide pullbacks basically did nothing to the New Zealand market except pull it back to the bottom of its very light, low volatile consolidation pattern. And then last week, look at this. This thing broke out. This thing has not even gone for a major pullback and continues to keep on going higher. So definitely pay attention to the New Zealand market. Let's go over to the U.S. market. As you guys notice on Twitter, we did tweet about the major support level within a point on the mini S&P 500 futures, and actually forecasted the time predictions too. But you could see here it held a support level of 16,333. And now it's going to a major resistance level of 16,874. It's got to break the 16,874 level. If not, this thing could consolidate for the next couple of weeks and then make a move towards the next towards probably end of middle of November to 3/4 of November to start making a move to break that resistance again. But right now it's a very critical level. The way the markets have been going, a straight shot up, I wouldn't be surprised if it sits there and holds that level, and now we enter a big wild consolidation pattern for at least about a couple of weeks before we sit there and take off to a bullish rally that goes into the end of the year. S&P, you could see it's at the major resistance level at 1964. It's critical to it breaks it. If it doesn't, it's going to consolidate a little, probably between that level and this level, that level there. NASDAQ, if you look at NASDAQ, this has been the leader of all the three markets, and then this was basically the NASDAQ was the leader, then the S&P, and then the Dow. And you can see from the NASDAQ here, this basically broke the resistance at 39.83. So it's not at a resistance like the S&P and the Dow. It actually broke it last week. So we now have a high probability of retesting the high here and continue to keep on going higher. We've been talking about doing pairs trading where we basically long the NASDAQ and short the Dow. Pairs trade is working out really well. Canada market here, major trend, went for a minor pullback level, and you could see the pullback level is 14,174. It basically bounced off that level. Now it's going back to major resistance level here at 14,650, and it has a high probability of breaking it, and believe it or not, to keep on going higher. So definitely keep an eye out in Canada for it to keep on pushing to go higher. Mexico had a bullish trend, pulled back to major support, held it right here at 43,000. Let's just say 287. The resistance it has to conquer to retest the high and to keep on going higher is 44,477. Argentina, which is basically being a bullish mode, basically did a pullback, around to about 55.55, not sorry, 95.55, held that support, now basically stuck at a resistance level at 10,999. Which one it breaks, that's going to be the key. If it breaks the resistance, this thing's going to retest the high to keep on re-going. If it breaks the support, this thing's going to enter a major pullback. Santiago, Chile. This, believe it or not, had a bearish trend, did a major pullback to about 40.69, and this is slowly deteriorating to go downwards. So this is basically, until this year, into next year, this is basically bearish to with a high probability of getting down into this level here to at least 3,600 and possibly to retest the low of 3,400. After that, we have to kind of wait to see exactly what the charts look like to determine what it's going to do. Now, Brazil market, I don't know why a lot of people have been talking about this going bullish due to elections. This chart looks very, very ugly to me, to a point it had a chance to go bullish. It did not do that because it did not hold any of these three supports at all. It's now at a major support down here at 50,599, but it basically destroyed the bullish chart completely to a point this looks very, very ugly right now. And if you look at it overall, this is a ugly chart that's slowly deteriorating and slowly going downwards. So I would not be trying to go the bullish on the Brazil market at all right now, unlike what other people are telling you to do. Okay, that's it for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Here are our contact details again. If you guys have any questions, feel free to contact them.